Joining us on the phone is Paula Waldo, a certified accountant with Lindsay & Waldo. She's joining us right now to discuss some of the financial issues that are cropping up as we are all dealing with this pandemic. Paula, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. And I know you were saying that there's quite a bit of confusion. People have a lot of questions about how their taxes are implicated. We know that the tax deadline has been moved. What are maybe some of the points you would like to clarify for our viewers, some of the more common questions you get?
Well, one of the most common questions that I've been getting is, when are the taxes due? And they have been bumped to July 15th. So I think that's going to help a lot of people, especially in this time. And then also we're getting a lot of questions about the economic stimulus payments that will be coming out. You know, when are they going to be coming out? How much am I going to get? What if I haven't filed my taxes yet? We're getting a lot of those kinds of questions.
Mm-hmm. And so I know we've done some reporting this past week. There's some questions too about whether these stimulus checks are going to be taxed, at least in the state of Alabama. There might be some legislation on its way, but so the federal, your money will not be taxed on the federal level, but perhaps it will be by Alabama. That may change. Is that correct?
That's correct. Alabama does have to decide on that, and that will be something that they probably vote on. And will come out hopefully soon.
I know a lot of business owners have questions about the loans that are available to them to keep these businesses afloat, and some of these loans may be forgiven down the road. Do you have any information about what qualifies you for that debt to be forgiven, and how that works?
Well, there are actually two different loans. One is what they are calling the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program. And small businesses can qualify for up to 2.5 times of their average monthly payroll. And it's possible that all of that loan can be forgiven if it's spent on qualifying things such as payroll, rent, utilities, those kinds of things. And then there's another loan, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and up to $10,000 of that can be forgiven as well.
All right, and so you just have to maintain your employees, keep them on the rolls to maybe qualify to have that debt forgiven later, right?
For the PPP loan, correct.
Okay, and do you recommend a lot of businesses, you know, maybe even if they aren't struggling right this moment, to go ahead and get the ball rolling and apply for this loan?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because we don't know what this is going to look like in 3 or 4 months. They may need that cash then. So by applying for these loans now, I think that's going to be critical in the months ahead, as we don't know what it looks like.
And any idea how quickly businesses will be able to have access to these loans? Do we have any idea how quickly these loans are going to be processed and the funds given to these struggling businesses?
Well, I've heard varying things. The PPP loan, that just opened up on Friday. So small businesses were only able to start applying for those on Friday. I've heard, you know, as soon as a week. On the economic injury loan, I have heard there's the $10,000 advance on that is supposed to be deposited within 72 hours, I believe.
Okay. Wow. And unemployment filings, we know that those have just skyrocketed in recent weeks. How does that work from a tax standpoint? Are those payments still taxed?
For the federal, yes, they are taxable. Now, the unemployment, they will give you an option to have some withholdings withheld, though. So for some people, that may be an option they want to do.
Okay. And I've talked to people, not necessarily business owners, but, you know, we've got a long stretch of beach down on our coast. I've talked to people who have just investment properties. They own condos at the beach, and their business per se is just is gone. They're not a business per se. What kind of advice can you give to people like that who are seeing all of their bookings suddenly drop off right as, you know, spring break was getting started. There's no bookings hardly for the summer. Are there any programs or anything available for those folks who may not be necessarily be business owners per se, but they have this investment there?
Well, I would still apply for the economic injury disaster loan. We are definitely in a disaster area, and it's designed for, they may not be your typical small business. However, a rental property is a business. And then also the SBA, you know, some people do have SBAs. If someone has more than one or two rental properties, they may have an SBA loan, and the SBA is paying those 7A SBA loans for the next 6 months. So that may be something that would help them. All
right. Paula Waldo, thank you so much for your time. If you have any additional questions for Paula, you can reach her at 251-633-4070 or online at cpamobileal.com.